Hi there again everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you have visited me before, you will notice that my background is a little bit different. That is because my husband has converted one of our old sheds into a she shed for me, and I am loving it. So this is going to be my permanent background. I have got a couple of videos filmed in my old office, which I did share with my husband, which is our old box room, that I just need to edit and get out there because it's been a long time since I did film, because we've been doing this. I mean, the grand scheme of things, it didn't actually take him that long. It's just that I didn't really have the inspiration to film in my cramped space, but now I've got my own space and he's built all these drawers for me. I've got a little candle in the background, and I'm just loving it. I've got all my makeup in here, I've got all my craft stuff in here. I'm going to film a video on how he did it and like the process, because it is just literally an old wooden shed that he has converted for me. He's just such a mastermind when it comes to this type of stuff. But there are a few finishing off things, like a few edging pieces. The glass in the windows has only just gone in, so I need some blinds and to get the stickers off those that you get when they arrive. But enough of that. I hope you do enjoy my background, and I'm just going to jump into the video. I thought for my first look in my new she shed, seeing as it's a relatively sunny day, if not a little bit chilly, that I would do just a nice spring everyday look. No lashes, anything like that, just a nice spring look. I think I'm going to go for a nice pink vibe because I'm just feeling that right now. So I'm just going to clip my hair back and we're just going to jump right into this video. I just bought these clips in Home Bargains the other day. I think I got a pack of 6 for like £1 or something, and they're really good. So my spring go-to look. So I'm going to start with my brows. I'm going to go in with this L'Oreal Skinny Diviner Brow Artist Pencil, and this is in Brunette. Even though I am blonde, I do like my brows to be a bit dark because that's just what I like. And I have been loving this brow pencil. So it is super skinny. You get the spoolie on one side and you get the little pencil on the other side there. And if I do keep looking over in this direction, it is because I've set myself up a monitor because I've got the room now, and I just need to get used to looking at the camera without seeing anything in the viewfinder, rather than going like that and looking. So I am sorry if I keep doing that. Okay, so I'm just gonna fill in those brows. So I have cleanse, tone, moisturise, serum, SPF, all that stuff. I feel like we need to be, I mean, I SPF every day anyway. I feel like we need to be doing that a little bit more now the warmer weather is coming. I mean, we did have some super weather in March here in the UK. I wasn't here, I went to Benidorm for a boozy weekend, and the weather was crap and it rained, and it was absolutely glorious here. Typical. Okay, so they do look really weird. I'm not the best at my brows, and I do use the concealer to give them a really good clean up, and they are in desperate need of being laminated. Absolutely desperate need of being laminated, and I am booked in for next week. So I'm going to go in with this Aldi Brow Gel in medium. I have been loving the Aldi brow pencil as well. I got these at my local Aldi and they were on sale. I think this was like £1.99 or something, and I just find it just kind of like sets the brows, and because they're in desperate need of being laminated, I do try and go for like a wispy brow, but they just end up looking like a block brow because they're just not doing as they're told right now. Okay, so I'm going to go in with some concealer just to carve those brows out, and I'm going to go in with my, I never know how to say this, Nabla. I'm just not good at these things, and it's a Regeneration Uplifting Creamy Concealer, and I'm absolutely loving it. I got this for Christmas, I think, but I do love it. This is it right here. Absolutely loving that. I did go for a very light shade when I purchased this as well, and I don't know if I'm regretting it. Regretting the shade, not the purchase, because I love the consistency of formula. It's so nice. The top there as well, so I can get a bit of shape, get rid of any like excess that I don't need. And then I'm just going to bob a dot on each lid and use my concealer brush just to wipe that through, and then I'm going to blend it with a fluffy brush because we want like a super like blown out look today. Doesn't have to be neat, just nice. Okay, so I'm going to take this little fluffy brush and I'm going to start above the eyebrows because obviously we want this blending through because we don't want that to show through when we put foundation on. Remember the name then. I'm so looking forward to summer this year. I mean, spring, it's just giving me a vibe. I'm just loving it. I'm loving the fact that it's warmer in the day, even though it's still freezing at night. Okay, before I go in with my eyeshadow, I'm going to put my primer on just so it's got time to soak in. And I've got the Revlon Pro Anti-Pollution Primer. And I'm just absolutely loving this right now. It is such like a nice... It just feels so fresh. It's like the consistency of it right there. And it smells nice and it just makes my skin feel just, it's hard to describe, it's so hydrating, and it's anti-pollution, and I do feel like I've got like really big pores at the moment, so I may go in like a pore filling primer as well once that's soaked in. I don't know, like, it's just a skin changing, it's just changing so much. Cackle. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my Morphe Everyday Chic palettes, because I just love these colours in here. These like pinks and whatnot, what I'm going for today. I have pulled out a couple of other palettes that are all Morphe, funnily enough. But I'm just going to go in with a nice like pink as a transition. I'm going to go in with this colour here, and I'm just going to see what that looks like. I'm going to take my Zoeva Luxe crease brush, put a little bit on there. I'm going to make sure that there's no creasing because, you know, wrinkles, and I'm just going to lightly just blend that up through the crease. It's going to take a little bit of time to get used to filming in here. That's a little bit darker than I thought it was, but I'm going to add some more pink, so I'm just going to use this as a transition. I do love the way it looks though. If I was doing a more intense look, I would start with my crease and then blend my transition into it afterwards, but I'm not going for an intense look, so this is what we're doing. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the Morphe Sweet Oasis palette, and I'm going to go in with this colour here, which is a Love Struck. I'll hit myself in the nose with that then because I'm just vibing with that pink right now. And I'm going to take like a flatter, fluffier brush, and this is the Luxe Soft Definer 227, and I'm just going to put that up through the crease and blend it into that transition because I am loving that. I'm going to blow it out a little bit at the corners, just a little bit though, not a lot. I just feel like this is just a super simple springtimey look. I'm just loving the pink. I'm going to go in with more of that just to deepen it up a little bit, and then I'm going to go in with the first brush that I used and just blend the two together. Now I've put a more intense pink on, that other one seems a bit more mauve than pink. But I just want a nice little bit of shimmer on the lids, not an intense glitter, just a little bit of shimmer. So I'm going to go in with another Morphe palette, the 35X, and this is Big Pumpkin, and I did buy this, it was either the back end of last year or the beginning of this year, and it does like come across as a winter palette or autumn because it's Big Pumpkin, but I am just loving these pinks right here, and I'm going to go in with this shimmer, which is Eyes Wide Shut, but I'm going to go in with a brush because I just want it to be really, really light, which is why I'm not going to go back in with the concealer as well. So I'm going to go with a flat brush, just dip it in and just run that over the lid. Just that little bit of shimmer is just gorgeous. I mean, that's the eye literally done. Just mascara. I should have a little brown liner on there, just across the lash line. I don't think I want a wing. I probably could get this to be a more intense shimmer if I went in with my finger. Shimmers on with flat brushes, they're not as intense, but I just really feel like that's all the look needs. You know, this is a simple, everyday spring look. I'm loving it! I've literally used one colour out of 3 different Morphe eyeshadow palettes. So I'm going to go back in with the brighter pink out of the Sweet Oasis palette, or 35S, the Love Struck, and I'm just gonna tidy that up slightly. I feel like I don't use pink eyeshadow enough, you know. And with my pale complexion, you'd think I would. I really like it. I think it looks super nice. Loving it. So I think I am going to just run a little bit of brown eyeliner pencil across the lash line, and I'm going to go in with this Wet n Wild Creole eyeliner. Now I think I've only used this once before, and I did film a video that I've not done anything with yet, which is a Amazon like highest rated cheapest makeup. So I just need to edit that and get that out. But if I remember rightly, I didn't hate it. The eyeliner, that is. There was some products that I did hate. And I don't feel the need to be like super neat here. Just get it on. Just get it on. I just really feel like that adds just a bit of something. Just adds a little bit of something. Only thing about filming out here is I can hear my neighbours in their garage. And they're in there a lot. I don't know why. So I'll try and edit as much of that out as possible, but they're obviously looking for something. I mean, should I try and put a slight wing in? I'm not very good at wings because I've got such wrinkly eyes these days. Yes, I do say it. I've got wrinkly eyes, and just own it. Just own the wrinkly eyelids. Doesn't stop me doing anything on my face I want to. And nor should it. I'm just going to do a slight, very slight, like wing there. Just bringing it out slightly. It's not even a wing, it's just bringing that out ever so slightly there. It just kind of like builds it up in that corner a little bit without being like a very intense wing. So, mascara. I'm going to go in with this Lancôme Monsieur Big. I bought this at the airport on the way back from Benidorm, and it is just super nice, and I feel like when I put this on I don't need any false lashes, even though it's not like I've got a lot of lash as it is. I just really don't have a lot of lash at all. I wasn't blessed in that way. I know, it's a shame, innit? I am feeling like with this, having my own space now, that I am going to be able to like come out here and film at night, so I may even be able to get more videos out, because obviously in the house when I've got a child who's going to bed, all you can hear is me talking, or my husband runs his business from the office, so he could be in there working, and obviously that takes priority. I don't make any money doing YouTube, so don't forget to subscribe. So yeah, I do love that. It does give me a little bit of a clumpy lash, but I just feel like it's just give me a lash. It's thickened and lengthened for me. Feels a little curl as well. Okay, so apart from a bottom lashes, under eye, that is the look done, and I am loving it. It's just super simple, super like fun and bright, and I think you can just do it at any age. You don't, you know, you can do it at 15, you can do it at 42. So I'm going to go in with more mattifying primer as well now, and I've only used this primer once before, and it's the I Heart Revolution Strawberry Whip Pure Blurring Primer with vitamin C and E, and I just got it because it looked like strawberries, and yeah, felt like it was going to be nice. It is a little bit like, or trying to be like the Benefit Professional, but kind of missing the mark a little bit because it's not like the same consistency. But it, you know, wasn't going bitty on the skin or anything last time I tried it, so I'm just going to give it a go. And it does smell like strawberries. It is quite an intense smell, so if you don't like intense smells, then you're not really going to like this. Whereas they don't really bother me. Even though I have like a really heightened sense of smell, it like gives me migraines. But if I like the smell, then it's not great. I mean, who doesn't like the smell of like artificial strawberries? See, I do feel like that's kind of blurred my pores a little bit. I'm going to use it with foundation that I've not used it with before, because I was like, I've only used it once. So let's see how we go. Okay, so I'm going to go in with this NYX Born to Glow foundation. I've only used this once before, and it's a natural radiant foundation, and I just think, you know, if it does everything it says it's going to do, it's just going to be lovely on the skin. It was a bit ago that I did use it, so we'll just have to wait and see, won't we, what it's like on the skin, because I really can't remember, so it might have been a little bit underwhelming. Who knows? So I'm just going to take this on a Peaches PC19 brush, and I'm just going to warm that up on the back of my hand and roll it around a bit. I feel like I've just gone in and made another coffee, and I feel like I'm dead far away now. Let's get closer. Let's get close and personal. So let's get this on. I think sometimes you try a foundation or a product and you just kind of forget about it very quickly because it's a little bit underwhelming. But then sometimes when you kind of like try it again, you're like, what was happening? Why did I not like this? Why did I not use it again? I think sometimes it's the products you use it with, the look you use it with. I mean, I've hardly used any foundation on here, and you did say it was light. Natural, not light. And it's giving me a good coverage. And it was quite a good colour match as well. What I'm loving about this shed as well, I've got a window here and a window here and a window behind me, and I've still got my ring lights on, just to brighten myself up a bit. But I'm loving the natural light. I can really tell like the colours that I'm using, if that makes sense. I mean, that's a nice foundation. Is it gonna cover up every imperfection I've got? No, but with what I like coverage, I mean, I've got a little bit of a blemish coming here. I mean, it does seem like super light in colour, but it is oxidising slightly, so I'm just going to bring that down my neck. So the trouble with being pale as paper. And I'm just going to take my beauty sponge, and I'm just going to give that a little pat in, just to like even that out a little bit. I wouldn't say it was radiant though. I don't feel like I'm glowing. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the foundation, not the foundation, the concealer even, and I'm going to use the one that I used on my as a base really. I'm just going to go there, and I'm going to put a little bit there just to try and lift my face, and I'm just going to put a little bit in my nose here and here, a little bit on the chin, and a little bit like that. And it is a lot of concealer, but the foundation is very, very light, so I'm just gonna dab that in. I do feel like it blends lovely, this concealer, and with having creased under eyes, even though, you know, I do have a little bit of Botox, but I don't like to go too far, I do feel like the lighter formula is better suited to my under eyes. So I will blend that in slightly more once it's settled as well into my little creases. I may even give it a go with a little brush. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go in with a bit of a cream contour. I'm going to go with it on a brush like this, because this is what I've seen on TikTok. Let's put it on a little brush like that, and then brush some excess off on your hands and just kind of like pat it. This is the W7 contour stick in Fair, and I did film a W7 video and never got around to editing it, so I'll probably do that because it was like my first time trying W7, and I've got to admit I absolutely love this because that's just such a natural like glow, or glow contour even. And I'm going to go in with my Melt Cosmetics cream blusher in Honey Thief, and that is that right there. I mean, how gorgeous is that? And I just like to take a little bit on my finger and then pat it up. It is super intense. I mean, I literally went like that, and look at all of that on there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it down, and the brush that had a little bit of contour in it, I'm just going to use it to pat that in and up through my temple. I am going to bronze my forehead, but I'm going to use powder to do that. I don't love cream products, I'm not going to lie, but I do like using them sometimes. I'm not as like into them as everybody else is at the minute. And I'm just going to take this Maybelline Master Strobing liquid highlighter and just put a couple of drops on, and I'm just going to finish patting that in with my finger. And I'm going to pat a little bit in the inner corner, feel some of the excess that's on my finger. Okay, so I'm going to re-pat into my under eye, and then I'm going to set it. I don't like to put any powder on and then go in with cream products, which I have seen people do on TikTok and other things, because I feel like for me it kind of drags the product off my face, and that is not what we want. So I'm just going to go in with this Maybelline Fit Me, can I go the right way around? Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless in translucent, and I'm just gonna take like a loose brush and just tap that under my eyes before I put a loose setting powder under there. And I'm going to go in with my Mercier under eye setting powder, which I have been loving, to just like brighten up my eyes. I really feel like it does give me the brightness that I need. Okay, and I finally got my hands on the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder. I had to order it off Amazon, and this is the shade. It's fair. You know, I couldn't find a translucent one, so I've gone for a fair one, because I am pale as paper. And I'm going to go in with this. This is a BH Cosmetics large powder brush, and I've just been loving it, absolutely loving it. I'm just going to pat that all over my face. But I am kind of loving this powder. The hype was true. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my Wet n Wild bronzer in Bikini Contest. Now, I absolutely love this. It's one of my all-time favourites, and it just gives you such a sun-kissed look. I'm taking it on a PC04 brush and just lightly just swiping really lightly, and then I'm gonna deepen it up by just patting it slightly and bringing it up around the temples and my forehead. And now I'm going to go in for a bit more blush, because I just love blush. And this is the Rimmel Maxi blush, and this is in Exposed. Loving it. And I'm going to take that on this PC15 brush, and this is a really intense blusher, so a little bit just goes a long way, and we're just going to pat that up and round, up and round. You don't have to put it on your temples if you don't want to. I just like to. I just feel like it just gives me such a nice, like, just spring glowy look. And I know I use like the Matte and Poreless powder, but I know in a couple of hours I will be glowing again. And that's what highlight is for. It's not like taken the naturalness of the foundation away. It's just set my face in place, and I know it's gonna last. Okay, so for highlighter, I'm going in with my I Heart Revolution Cinderella highlighter, and this is just a gorgeous, like, subtle pink. It's not really showing on camera, it looks white, but it has got like a pinky undertone, which is perfect for the under eyes. And I'm just gonna see, that is on its own, this isn't that intense, but if you put a cream product underneath it, it's just like, just sets it off a bit on the forehead just to give us that glow. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do my under eyes now, because, you know, we want to look normal. I mean, I suppose you don't have to do your under eyes if you don't want to, but I like to. And I'm going to take that flat brush, I'm going to go in with Love Struck, and I'm just going to run that under my eyes on my lower lash lines. Just bring that up into the outer portion as well. Okay, because that is super bright, I'm just going to go in with like a deeper pink, probably just on the outer portions. So I'm going to take this Morphe 156 brush, and I'm not sure about this that I put as an original transition on those bottom lashes, but I'm going to take Hibiscus Blossoms in the 35S palette, which is this colour here. This is the bright one that I used, so I'm going to go in with this colour here, and I'm just going to, I may even run it right along, because that's come out looking pretty good. Oh, look at that. That is pink. Loving it. And then I'm going to coat my bottom lashes. I mean, that is just gorgeous. I'm not going to put anything in the waterline because I really don't feel like it needs it. You could go for a white if you wanted to, but I'm really not feeling the need to. I've got black here. Why? Okay, so for lips I'm going to go for a nice pink, and I'm going to take this Sucker for Grey Essence lip pencil. Now, I absolutely love these lip pencils. They're just amazing. And that's just a gorgeous like pinky nude. Okay, I'm going to take this YSL like liquid lip, and it is, I should keep the boxes for these because I can never read what's actually on them. No, I don't know what colour it is. All I know is it's like a peach. I'm just gonna dab that in my ring finger before I put that colour on actually. Just kind of blend that a bit. See, that looks gorgeous. I'm just gonna bob this. It's like a gloss. Loving it. Just need to get rid of that bit of black there. Go on then, a bit more gloss. For setting spray, I'm going to use the I Heart Revolution Fixing Spray in Vanilla and Coconut. I absolutely love this. It is super nice, and it smells fit. So, absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this video. I am loving having my own space to film in, so please make sure you like, subscribe, all of that jazz, just to justify to my husband that it was worth building this for me. And you know, I'm hoping to post loads more than I have been doing. I hope you enjoyed this spring makeup look. Let me know of your recreations. Don't forget to tag me on any Instagram recreations or Facebook, anything like that. My socials will be linked down below, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye!